Hey man,
Hey Dim.
nice to see you outside of Instagram, bro.
Yeah.
How are you today, man?
Yeah. Better. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go for a run this morning? You look like you're a sporty guy.
Yeah, I've always been very sporty growing up. Very played a lot of sports competitively. So during this time I'm just sticking to the basics and trying to find myself again through doing the shit that I enjoy. But yeah, I didn't go for running. I did some Muay Thai this morning.
Fucking
Just
legend.
yeah, outdoors. We're just basically filming for this guy who's starting his own Muay Thai gym. So we did a bit of filming and I threw a couple of punches and knees and stuff. So that was good.
Good on you, man. I'm a big proponent. I'm being real. Like I really did like what I saw on your Instagram about all the sporty stuff because I just think it's so good for everything,
Yeah,
when you're using your body more.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you know our boy Joey?
Uh, I don't know, just through mutuals, I guess. Like uni, his mate Kerman. Like I know his mate Kerman. I don't know if you know Kerman well, but
He's come to my uh, like some classes I've done.
oh right, okay, yeah. So I've been good mates with Kerman, and I guess I met Joe through Kerman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, bro. Man, well, I've basically got about an hour,
yep,
and we'll have a ideally a good insightful punchy session. Is that okay with you? Still?
yep.
Okay, man. So just so you know, I've read through your quiz, so thank you for filling it out because it does really help get some good context. Man, I've got you. Did you get a chance to check out the documentary, by the way?
Yeah, I did. I watched the documentary and I also wrote down what I sort of the last step, which was like what I want or what I yeah.
Legend. How did you
Um,
find the documentary?
no, it was good. It was good. It's not what I was expecting, but no, it
Yeah,
was interesting. It got me thinking though. So
yeah. How,
it also got me. It also made me realize that I'm not alone, and like other people go through shit as well.
yeah,
Um, it's pretty scary. It's scary at the same time as well. Though. Like it's like um, everyone goes through this. So is there really an escape?
yeah. It's a great question. It's really about what you choose to do,
Yeah,
with it. How old are you now, man?
30. So
Oh,
very relatable to most of the people in that video.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
all about like 30.
They were.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate that you did the prep work as well. Thank you, Vidit.
Um, with the quiz, by the way, so there was one of the questions was like regarding relationships, like are you single, blah blah blah, or
Yeah.
are you happy being single? So I actually wanted to put something that was in between, but like my answer was what I put down was like I'm at peace with being single.
Yes.
I'm really not. Like it's so fresh. I'm not at peace with it. But there was nothing where it was like because the next option was I want to be with someone. So I don't want to be with someone, but I'm
Yes.
not at peace with being single. So I wanted to be somewhere in between, but I
Thank
couldn't.
you, Vidit. No, thank you for the feedback, bro. I actually really appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised when I read that answer. I was like, oh, what that's interesting. Like that's not what I thought, the impression I got yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not at peace, but I don't also I'm too scared to even be with another person. So I'm not even looking for someone else to be with. So yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah,
bro, it's good to catch up a little bit. I so just so you know, man, like I've got you on one side of the screen and I've got the assessment paper on the other side of the screen. I don't know if you noticed that I put record on this Zoom call. The reason being, and we can cancel it if you want to. The reason being is because if you do end up wanting to come on board for a program,
yeah,
then often I definitely will come back and refer to this call just to make sure that we're on path with everything that you said that you wanted. So
yeah,
that's the function of me recording it. Is that okay with you?
yeah. That's fine. Yeah,
All right, man. So, bro, basically, how we normally do this call is, man, we're just looking to get an appreciation of what's brought you to the call today, of what's been going on, what you feel are the core issues that are really underneath the surface, uh, also how you're currently approaching it, and what I would say is like kind of what you are looking for to see if we can actually help you. And then, man, so basically, what that implies is for the first kind of 40 minutes, I won't be speaking too much. I want to let you speak. I want to ask you questions. I just want to understand.
Mhm.
Um, and then based off that, I can give you some analysis of what's going on. And if I think I've got a program that can actually help you, then I can share my screen and take you through the details. And then if you like that, you can continue with that. Um,
Yep.
is that format good with you?
Yep.
All right, man. Well, bro, I do have an appreciation of where you're at, especially after the quiz and all. But bro, do you want to just tell me in your own words, what's going on that has made you want to have the chat today?
Yeah. So as I touched on yesterday, basically I've come out of a 5.5 year relationship with a now ex fiance, and I'm in shock. I am struggling to accept that this has happened. Like, or maybe I've accepted it, but it's still just a massive shock to me. Um, like, I can't believe that this is how it turned out, especially because, 2 months ago we were planning our wedding. We were in America planning our wedding. She's American. So I was there over with her family, putting deposits down on venues and DJs and all that sort of stuff. Um, we've been doing long distance since July last year. I helped her move to Townsville for a job, um, and I just felt like I've been such a supportive partner. And when we were in America, she had a massive falling out with her family. I'd never seen her act in this way before. Um, there were a lot of red flags when we were in America, which was really strange, because I felt like I hadn't seen those red flags before.
Especially
Uh,
you were living together for like I believe you said 5 years or something, right?
so I've been together for 5.5 years. The first year of the relationship, we weren't living together,
Yes.
and basically from then on, we were living together. So from 2021 to 2024, we were pretty much living together. Yeah.
That's big, man. But then you didn't see the red flags, and then when you were in with with her parents, that's when you saw her flip.
Yeah, but like I also saw her parent. This was not the first trip to America. This was the second trip to America. The first trip to America was me proposing in front of her family, and that was like a month-long trip, where we stayed with her family. But everything was, airy fairy, like Alice in the Wonderland type thing. It was all sunshine and rainbows type of thing. So because I proposed at the start of the trip, so I didn't really get to see the the darker side or the other side, um, to her family and to her as well, because everyone was just in such a good mood. But then this trip was very different. She had a massive fight with her sister-in-law. This is basically what caused the whole whole fight, was the fact that the sister-in-law didn't post a picture of myself and her when we went to go visit them on the west coast to see the delivery of their baby, like, so her nephew. And she basically turned that into something that was so small into something massive. And this was first this was 2 weeks into the trip, so we went December 8th, and we knew that the baby was going to be delivered, either mid-December or late December. We ended up flying over 24th of December, um, a day after the baby was born, and then 2 days after we went to go visit, and then took all the pictures and stuff. And then that evening or that night, her sister-in-law posted pictures, and she wasn't in it, I wasn't in it. Then she texted them. They came home the next morning, and she's just yelling at them like, why didn't you post pictures? We came all the way here. Mind you, we're living in their house. We're sleeping on an air mattress in the living room, and the mother, her sister-in-law, is carrying a 2 3 day old baby, and she's just screaming at them. And obviously the brother steps in and says, like, back off, like, she's just gone through like such a difficult experience. Like she can hardly walk, that sort of stuff. And then this fighting just continued. We were supposed to be there for 10 days in the West Coast, and her parents live in the East Coast, so we traveled from the East to the West Coast for 10 days. But then we ended up having to leave after 4 days because the fighting got so bad to the point where her brother and sister-in-law no longer left their room and stayed in their room with the baby because they didn't want to see
Yeah.
Brooke.
And this is the second, just to be clear, this is the second time you go over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, man. All right. All right. All right. So basically you've gone over the second time and that's when you started to see some red flags for sure.
yeah.
And then you've come here and then all this shit's gone down. Like
So
what?
basically, we come back to Australia, and then she goes back to Townsville after a couple of days, and she starts saying that she doesn't want to be alone. She doesn't want to stay alone in the apartment that I bought for her to live in. And she starts hanging out with this family, super bogan family, like morbidly obese family. Like they're over 45 years old. The way she knows them is the the wife in the of the family works with her as a remedial massage therapist. Yeah, they're over 45 years old. They got pregnant at 16, morbidly obese, heavily in debt, and she starts spending time outside of work with them as well. And they have two kids. One kid's almost our age. Both second kids in high school. Both kids have to work two jobs to provide for themselves. They have to do
Wow.
their own groceries and that sort of stuff. And I'm like,
Wow.
these are not people you want to be hanging out with, blah blah. Blah. But anyways, she's hanging out with them, becomes more and more distant towards me, and I don't understand why. Because prior to December, prior to the America trip, she'd been living in Townsville for 4, 5, 6 months, and I was going up 1 week a month. My my boss changed uh, in October, or sorry, November last year, and when I came back, he was basically like, "You're not going to Townsville anymore." So that obviously also caused a bit of a strain on the relationship because I was going out 1 week a month, and she'd just come back from America having had a fallout with her family, and she was saying that she wants people to talk to, blah blah. I'm like, you can call me, but she's like, that's not the same as you being here and me talking to you. So she relied on other people instead of me, and then we started to drift apart a bit. Like, I mean, not drift apart. Like in my eyes, we weren't drifting apart, but it was more so we started having arguments about the same shit, which was you're spending way too much time with these people. Like, you don't even call me, you don't text me anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. You're like, you say your weeks and your days are boring and they're the same routine, but you're doing all this stuff. You're going to this bar, you're going there, you're going to have dinner at this place. Like, you must have stories to tell. You come back home at 11:30 after work, after hanging out with these guys after work,
All right.
and you
So
tell
it
me you
looks
have
like you
stories.
was kind of, yeah, you were actually getting some I know this is very sensitive, man, and I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I promise I'm sorry if it did.
yeah,
I promise because like I I promise you I know the pain. Like
yeah,
my own version of this and I'm sorry.
yeah.
It sounds like there were indicators, as sensitive as it is to say that in the lead up to what's kind of happened in the last week or so.
Yep, yeah. And I went. Have you heard of Vipassana?
Yes, I've done it many times.
Yeah, nice. I did Vipassana March 5th to March 16th.
Did you?
And I did it because I was going to quit my job and move to Townsville permanently, and I thought this would be a great like entrance into my new world, which was
That's
moving to
nice.
Townsville and living with her. So I said to her, "Yeah, I'm going to hand in my resignation as soon as I come back from Vipassana," which I did. And then yeah, I mean I yeah, I came back. She said she went to a couple of parties, sent me pictures. In hindsight, I didn't realize at that point in time, but because I was feeling so good after coming out of Vipassana.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
you realize everything's impermanent. You realize uh, you understand the state of being equanimous, and I just felt so good. I didn't look into anything that she sent me lots of messages while I was away. Like, I didn't have access to my phone, but I saw a lot of messages saying, "I miss you, I love you, blah blah blah. I wish you were here." Then she's like, "I went here, I went there." She sent a couple of pictures. We spoke on the phone. I asked for more pictures, and I didn't look into the pictures until after she broke up with me. And when I looked into the pictures, I realized um, she wasn't. She was at this nightclub event for around 30-year-olds, and she wasn't wearing her engagement ring, which is like crossing boundaries, to be honest.
Of course.
And I wish I could have said that to her because had I seen that initially, I would have said, "You, that's not okay. That's disrespectful, and there are boundaries to when you're in a relationship, and you've crossed that boundary. Like, regardless of whether or not you did anything physically, like you're not doing things to make me feel emotionally secure because you're doing the exact opposite of that. Not wearing a ring, you know, when you're
We,
at a party.
I think I really understand the context. I think you've done a great job in helping me understand. I know there's a lot more.
Yeah.
I know. I promise I know. Bro, I gotta ask, and I am also cognizant of time, so I hope you don't mind. Um, bro, I'd like to know, like, in within everything that you've shared, and I know it's all led up to the what you shared with me on the phone yesterday, which is like she just flips. It looks like she just flips, but I think even you're realizing that as you're explaining this story, maybe she didn't just flip. Like there was a few indicators that was kind of coming up to this moment,
Yeah.
as shitty as it was.
Yeah.
Man, I'd like to just know, bro. Do you know what you're looking for exactly with all of this being said now?
With you or just in general in life?
Why don't we just start with in general?
Yeah, I wrote it down. Um, so in general, I don't want what happened to me to affect my future in any way, shape, or form. So what I mean by that is future relationships, my mental and emotional state. And what I mean by mental and emotional state, I mean things like my confidence, not being able to trust women, um, uh, a heightened and consistent sense of insecurity, fear of losing, or even just losing the next person I'm with. I don't want to be held down um, by things like that. So that's number one. Number two is I want to let go of and accept all past traumas, including this one, but also childhood stuff. And uh, I want to figure out. I didn't write this one down, but I also want to figure out like I've had three serious relationships. All of them have ended, obviously, and the first one was like a year and a half. Next one was 2.5 years. This one was 5.5 years, and this is the one where I thought I was going to marry the person. This was going to be the mother of my children. So I want to I accept my responsibility in all this as well. I know that it's a two-way street somewhat. Even though she acted in a certain way, I want to figure out what it is about me. What are the things that I need to improve on or change to no longer cause a future relationship to go down that sort of path of just like the woman disrespecting me or losing attraction or whatever.
Fuck, man, you're breaking my heart. Like, I understand. And I admire it and I respect it very much. But I also understand the pain that we have to sometimes go through to to just go, fuck, what am I doing wrong? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and my psychologist said to not think like that because she said don't try and figure out why. Don't try and because at the end of the day you can't control her actions. She did what she did, and you tried to make things work. You even tried to say you're still committed to resolving this, but she wanted to exit. And in hindsight, there were all these red flags that I didn't notice. So it, yeah, if anything, it's probably not more what I did wrong, but how do I spot this quicker before it gets to a stage where it's way worse
I
than
think
it
that's
should be?
very smart. I
Yeah,
would agree. That's what I would be doing with you, for sure. I have to. So,
yeah,
okay, you keep
uh,
going. So I got your number one, and I think you've given me number two as well.
yeah. And then yeah. So number two was I want to let go of and accept all past traumas, and then number three was I want to figure out how what I said. The last one was I want to figure out um, how to avoid a situation like this again. Like, what is it in me that I didn't realize or didn't accept? Like, is it my people pleasing nature? Am I way too giving, and I enjoy giving because it's a stroke of my own ego. It makes me feel valued and valuable. Um, yeah. Do I have a fear of being alone, and that's why I just stayed in the relationship? Like, whatever it is, I want to figure out what it is so I can avoid this happening in the future.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's
Number number four is I
yep.
want to find and start building out my life's work.
Okay.
And number five is I want to be able to build and maintain healthy relationships with friends and family again, because I felt like in this relationship I sort of drifted away from friends and family, as it sometimes happens. But I don't want that to happen anymore in future relationships, because at the end of the day, it's always been my friends and my family that have been there for me, um,
I feel that, man.
which is so frustrating. Like how a loved one can just leave you. Um, yeah.
You've
Actually,
seen okay, okay. Thank you, man. Thank you.
and then the last one was we touched on this yesterday, and you noticed it as well. I want to be able to regulate my emotions and my mind, and not experience such high highs and such low lows.
Become more equanimous. You
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Good on you for doing Vipassana, man. I admire that very much. And it's rare.
yeah.
An experience.
I think I want to go and do another one, but I'm not mentally there yet. I'm scared of doing it because I attach doing Vipassana to the falling of my relationship as well, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. We have some stuff to undo here, man,
Yeah,
because you're 30 and you can't let this fuck up the next 10 years.
yeah,
It's golden time, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um, I'd like to understand with it, was there any more points there or did we,
That's
okay.
yeah.
And just for my own orientation, so I've even listed one, two, three, four, five, as you said. Is that the order of priority, or do you want to have a look at that list and tell me like what's the highest priorities for you?
Well, that's the order of priority at the moment, based off what I'm going through now. But in terms of future, like I think the priorities will shift, and I think building out my life's work will be top of mind and top of the list.
Amen. I understand. Okay, but is it fair to say for the next, call it 3 to 6 months, we might be working through the priorities as you've given me here?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's great. Can you tell me, Vidit, well, I'll just speak about question number one, sorry, points number one, two, and three. Then,
yeah,
to be fair, Vidit, one, two, three, five, and six is actually about the same thing
yeah,
in a way,
yeah,
right? Because I don't, you said I don't want what happened to me to affect my future in any way, which basically implies you want to understand what the fuck I was doing to create it. I want to have a healthy and regulated mental and emotional state. I don't want past traumas, whether it be from my childhood or from this shit, to affect my trust in women and how I want to be the fucking legend that I know myself to be. I don't want to be burdened by all this crap.
yeah,
Then I want to have wholesome, loving relationships, both intimate and family and friends.
yeah,
Uh, right. And once that side is the nurturing side has been that foundation has been laid, then it's game time
yeah,
business wise. Did I
yes,
say
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. All right, man. So, bro, can you just help me understand? And there's no judgment here. It's just I need to just be diligent. What do you normally do to try and get this result of uh how do you normally try to deal with working through traumas or whatever you want to call this area, regulating yourself and all?
At the moment, It's just physical activity as much as possible. Um, so that's what I've been doing at the moment. I struggle to sit down and read a book. Otherwise, it'd normally be reading books, self help, etc., philosophy. I am on my drives to and from places. I am listening to audiobooks. Uh, I have intermittently been journaling whenever my mind tells me to, or whenever my body tells me to. Like I want to journal, I sit down and journal. I don't really make it a routine. I haven't journaled in a while, but I felt like yesterday was probably a good day to journal, and I didn't end up journaling. But um, yeah, more recently as well, and this is not something that's typical of my past ways of dealing things with things like this, but it's just more advice that I've received from other people, finding a creative outlet. And so, um, a new creative outlet I found is creating content, and so editing videos, posting on Instagram, um,
You also
finding
mentioned psychologists, no?
yeah, and psychologists as well. I was seeing psychologists almost every week, um, but I've run out of my 10. I run out of my 10 free sessions.
Okay.
So my last free session will be on the 21st of May.
Okay, man. And how long have you been doing, I guess, these self-regulation activities for audiobooks, journaling? How long you been, I don't want to
Journaling,
say we're dabbling, but yeah, like,
journaling's recent, suggested by my psychologist,
okay.
um, and uh,
Like recent meaning like last year or like
last like 4 weeks. So whenever this happened,
sure,
I
sure,
got
sure.
dumped 29th of March. So
And there's about 10 weeks with the psychologist, I think you said.
yeah,
Okay.
well, I've been seeing this psychologist for like past 3 years on and off.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not relating to the relationship, more relating to my own childhood traumas and being brought up in a South Asian family, uh,
Okay.
and work stress as well, and work pressures, and just life pressures, expectations, and that sort of stuff. Dealing with that.
Understood. Okay. So you've tried the self-help stuff in tandem with going to psychologist stuff for the last 3 years on and off. Did I
Yeah,
say?
I'd say the self help, like reading books, that's been around since you know I've I've been reading those sorts of books since like 2013 type of thing.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good to know. All
Yeah,
right. Man, well, I gotta ask, like, you're already in self-help then, especially if it's been since 2013, right? Like that's fucking 12 years. Um, and you're already going to a psychologist, like, and you know journaling and you know Vipassana. Like, do you like how you're currently approaching it?
I think been speaking to a lot of people, speaking to people that have gone through something similar, not exactly the same, right? Obviously, and I had two conversations with people, um, like almost the weekend of when this happened. They both got their relationship either ended in divorce or 4 weeks before they were supposed to get married, and they told me their stories, and that gave me a bit of an awakening that this is not the path that I want to go down. So, for example, they said they spent 20 to 60K on cocaine for like a whole year, drinking, doing bags every weekend.
Yeah.
So I think if I compare relative to that, I'm doing okay. But
Yes.
um, and a lot of people around me have been saying they're impressed by how I've been dealing with everything. But at the same time, people aren't in my mind and they don't know what is going through my mind when I'm alone. So I am doing well when I'm with and around other people, but when I'm at home alone, my mind sometimes eats away at itself, um, which
I
is a bit.
understand.
I just want to, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. All right. Well, why don't you tell me in your own words, like what you would change or improve about all this if you could then?
Um, I want to be able to rely less on other people. I want to be able to find strength in myself, find motivation, like to be motivated. And when I say less self motivated, right now I have a lot of people holding me accountable because I've joined group things, like for example Muay Thai, running. I've got a PT at the gym. They're all holding me accountable. But if I didn't have those things in place, would I still be doing those things?
Yes,
Maybe not. Or would I still be doing them as well as I am now?
you're very
Probably not.
smart. You're very smart. A lot of guys initially say they want to be held accountable, and I have to explain to them what you're just saying now.
Yeah,
Do you really want to be that reliant, or do you want to learn how to find it within yourself? I think that's what you're saying. Is that correct?
it's correct. Yeah,
Bro, that was very smart. Like that whole answer was really smart. Um, Here's what I wrote. I want to be able to rely less on other people and actually find strength in myself. I want to be self-motivated and presumably I think what you're also saying is actually have the tools within myself to know how to process this shit. So I am more equanimous.
yeah.
Uh, I've got to ask, like, is that recently that you started to recognize that that's what you wanted, or have you been feeling that way for a while, or
No, I just recently, man. It's more like with everything that's happened. Um, yeah, I don't think this is like a. Maybe I was a bit reliant on my partner, but not in the same way she was reliant on me. I was more reliant on her emotionally, uh, and she was probably more reliant on me in very different ways. Um,
like financially and stuff?
yeah, using me basically. Like,
Yeah.
just can
But
you do
you were
this?
using her, motherfucker. You were using her emotionally like a fucking cushion. I'm telling you because I care about you and I
Yeah,
respect you, right?
yeah,
Right? Because if you were capable of calling me yesterday and just like laying it out like that, I was like, if he could do that to me, he's doing it definitely to the closer people in his life for sure.
yeah,
So my guess is that's how, I know I care about you, man. I know it seems like she's the evil one because, and like, I'm not saying you should be with her, right? I know it sounds like she might be the evil one because she's the one using you financially or whatever. But the question that's going to help you make your future better is, well, how was I doing that in my own way, in my own form?
yeah,
Oh, fuck, I was actually dumping on her emotionally. Maybe that's what it was,
yeah. 100%. I agree with that.
you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. And
When I was going through a difficult time, I would definitely go to her and seek that emotional support. But in my head, you know, she would also do the same. So I thought maybe that's the person I also go to seek emotional support.
yeah,
And it's just something that naturally you'd probably think of, like she's supposed to be your life partner, your family type of thing.
yeah, I'm not trying to make it wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not. I am you, man.
yeah.
That's why I can see this stuff
But
so.
you're right because I went through some shit at work recently, which also led me to quitting. Well, I told you my boss changed, and they were straight up just like he was like bullying me. And like one day I broke down. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like this is like fucked. And I was like pretty much called her and I was crying and shit. And like I just yeah, I did exactly what you said. I laid it out on her and she was like, obviously like, what do I do? She just said quit. Like you gotta quit.
Yeah, man. But you are even something you said earlier in this assessment. You said, "Man, I want to start to learn. Like, what the fuck am I doing Like, what am I doing wrong? And like, how can I change it? And I will show you how to change it in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're compromising or putting yourself out or not meeting your needs. Like, there's just a better ways to do this shit. That's what it
Yeah,
is, man.
yeah,
Because a lot of people feel like you got to compromise. It's not that, man,
yeah,
because that'll cause you to shrink and then that'll interrupt you getting to your business goal. So we need you to just learn a higher level of how you can handle this in a way that doesn't bring you down. So then you have the energy and the equanimity in your mind to crush it. That's the higher level here, man. But sorry, I'm deviating, and I'm doing my best to keep us on time, man. But I hope you're finding value, insight out of this discussion anyway. Bro, um, Okay, I've written down what you. So it's been a recent thing catalyzed by what's basically the third relationship happening. Um, Man, can I just ask, like, other than unless I'm making the wrong assumption, other than learning the tools and the guidance or whatever you want to say to rely less on other people, find strength within myself, actually like learn how to regulate myself, learn what I'm doing different, like what I need to do different, all of the things. Um, what would be the main reason that you're kind of like looking to the outside help now rather than just figuring this out by yourself? Because you are already in the self-help world, no?
Um, there are days when I feel like, and yesterday was one of them actually, and I actually cried a lot yesterday. But there are days when I feel like I make all this progress, and then that progress just goes back to square one. Um, and I lose all that progress. So I think the reason why I want to sort of uh, seek out this additional help is I want to figure out how to keep moving forward um, in a sustainable manner, but also to accelerate my progress as well because I do not want to be stuck in this cycle for, people say, you talk to people in this situation, they say, it took him 6 months, a year, or it took him a year, 2 years, 3 years to get over this. I don't want to be that person. I want to, I want to get out of this gutter quicker.
And lasting, I
Yeah,
think you're trying to say.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
New foundation.
Yeah, um, and I really want to work on and build out my dreams. Like I was going, that was the whole plan. Like I was going to quit my job, move to Townsville. I had pitched my business idea to this partner. He was all on board. He wanted to invest. He wanted to help me build out the business. I was going to do it remotely while living in Townsville. And now my whole world has been shook to the point where I can't continue progressing on the things that I was going to do, even when I was with her. And a, a mentor of mine has given me a reality check. He's like, by you letting her, by you not working on the things that you were going to work on with her, even without her, you're letting her win. And I know, I get that, I understand that, but for some reason, my body internally is not letting me move forward. It's just a sickness in my stomach. Like if I
Okay.
do anything that I was supposed to do with her, I can't do it.
Yeah, you're very blessed with it that you're able to recognize that because that's what's going to stop you for like that forces you to address this now, which means that you're probably not going to get physically sick down the line because you've stuffed all it down.
Yeah,
You know, that bullying mentality of like, no, she's the whatever, and no, you're gonna let her win. Like, it'll make you sick, man. If you don't heal this. Um, Bro, have you been out there looking? I know that obviously you know Joey, and you were speaking to psychologists before you met me, just to check. Like, have you been out there looking for different ways?
not really. No.
All
Like other
right,
people like yourself,
yeah,
not really. There was one person I spoke to from. Have you heard of Men's Development Academy?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to them, but yeah, I mean, like it was a good conversation. They said the root cause of my issues is I'm a people pleaser because I hadn't had a nurturing mother, sorry, which I actually kind of agree with. But yeah, I haven't really progressed that conversation.
Man, this yeah, I promise this is like a. There's no thing here. Like, is there something that has prevented you from doing that? Like,
My financial situation.
Okay, okay. That's okay, man. That's okay. Like if it's just that you don't have the money to do courses, like it's all right. Like I mean, would it be fair to say that if you did have the money to, how much is their course?
7 grand, I think.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's more so they weren't really flexible on payment plans considering my situation. Um, and like, I'm actually glad I didn't end up paying it because uh, I told them my situation and how she got lawyers involved and all that sort of stuff. And then literally the week after, the police came to my house, served me an ABO. I had to contact my family friend who's a number one criminal defense lawyer in Australia. I have to basically drop 2.2K every time he goes to court. So I had to drop 2.2K like 2 weeks ago. I have to drop another 2.2K before the 19th of May. He's going to go to court um, on the 19th of May, basically going and saying we're going to fight the ABO because the ABO is bullshit. Her entire statement's BS. And then that's going to be a 6 to 9 month process and amounting to a total of $22,000 while I don't have a job. So,
yeah, bro,
um,
I want you to just be well, most of all, right? And I'm not interested in getting food taken off your table at all. I
yeah.
don't want that. It's not going to help. I want I just got to ask, man, if the I think what you were saying earlier was like you were glad you didn't make that choice because well they were not able to offer you financial flexibility.
Yeah.
Was there another reason that you're glad you didn't make that choice, or was it literally just because they couldn't give you the right payment plan?
Uh,
It's okay to say I'm not doing it.
I think I'm glad I didn't make the choice because I also met you and um, I assume you're also South Asian, so there's a little bit of like uh, relate a bit better in that sense as well. Um, I didn't know there was someone like you out there as well. So I mean,
Yeah.
actually, I had said a couple of years ago I saw one of your Instagram ads or something like that. But yeah,
Well, I'll show you how much I relate to you, man. If that's what we're talking about.
one of my questions was also going to be,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your story too, man.
Sure, bro.
Yeah,
I sure, bro. Thank you for saying that. I think it's not on this phone anymore, God bless. I don't even want to look through these photos anymore. But my fiance is Russian background and I'm Sri Lankan, man. So like she um yeah, blonde and blue-eyed and yeah,
bro, bro,
the dynamic.
bro. I don't know if you know my ex, same thing, exact same
Yeah,
thing.
I figured.
Ukraine, Ukrainian, Irish, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, I
What do they
figured.
say? Blonde and crazy, bro. Blonde and crazy.
All right. All right. All right, man. Well, okay, man. Got it. Give me one sec. I'm just summarizing what I've got so far.
So she was the one that wanted to cut, or she cut
She did.
hers.
She did cut. Yeah. Yeah. And man, I
How long ago was this?
2023 June.
Oh wow,
So,
years
um,
ago.
yeah, man. But look, man, what I'm about to say may not feel calibrated to you or relatable to you, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
Like, look, I've spent over $200,000 at this point with it, learning different tools and doing different healing and whatever, right? So for me, if after all of that I was to still think of her as the villain and all this shit and she's winning and all that bullshit, I'm not trying to shit on that, but like I don't think I'd be very good and very embodied in all this stuff that I help people with.
yeah,
Man, I just think she's the best person in the world. I really do. I feel like we have had a soul contract, and we are just walking each other home, man. And it's when we can understand the divine order that we have in each other's life, and how my actions help create that situation, and how we both were developing and learning as a result of the interactions. It's very hard for me to have resentment towards her, man.
yeah.
Um,
I'm not. There's 4 stages of grieving. I think what's like,
Acceptance is the last one, yes.
yeah. I think I'm at the stage where I'm now resenting. You know,
Yeah, which is fair, right? Which is I don't judge it at all, and I've been through that, right?
yeah.
And,
For for the
like,
for the longest time, up until the police came to my door, for the longest time, I wanted to write her and her family a letter. ending things on a good note, talking about all the positive memories. I never had an ounce of hatred for her, or um, I couldn't even say a single bad thing about her. I would never even use the B word,
Bless
against
you,
her.
bro.
Yeah.
Bless you,
Um,
bro. All
yeah.
right, man. Well, I appreciate how diligent we've been. I've got to yeah, I've just got two more questions left. And then man, I do think we've got a good one that can help you. Um, and hopefully we can find a way to make it work if that's what you want. Um,
So after the two questions, can I hear more about your story as well, and like how long you've been in this game for, and
sure. Why
how
don't I just give you that answer now? Because I
yeah,
think you were curious, right?
yeah,
Vidit, man, so I've been doing this full time for the last 7 years. I've done well more than 10,000 hours, probably about 15,000 hours of direct coaching with guys. I've been certified by Brown University, which is so Ivy League school in the US,
yeah,
plus fucking Sydney Uni, and plus a whole bunch of others. With Brown University, it was called Mindfulness-Based Cognitive Therapy. There's an American board of NLP, so I learned fucking NLP, timeline therapy, DeMartini method. I got certified in all that shit, plus probably about 160 grand worth of other things that I've done. And in terms of myself, man, the ages 4 to 14, I would get profusely bullied by the two boys that I grew up with. I had a very close female friend because she was my age as we grew up. So I overall have quite a good relationship with feminine energy because I just got bullied a lot by those older boys, and then had domestic violence like with my dad and my mom. So there was I've been to 8 different schools, been quite a difficult upbringing. Then ages 14 to 21, I would get suicidally depressed every winter, and it was really fucking hard. And I really feel like I was saved by angels to get through all of that stuff, man. When I was 21, that's really when I'm like, what is the point of staying alive? And honestly, bro, because I was asking that question every fucking winter for fucking 7 years, but it was really getting to a head. So when I was 21, I saw the Donate Blood Red Cross van because I was really asking the question, what is it worth staying alive for? And I was like, you know what, man? Even if I don't become a fucking fighter pilot, that's what I wanted. Even if I don't get the girl that I want because that wasn't working out. Even if I'm dropping out of uni, um, it's worth staying alive just to at least donate blood to at least help others. I'll give up on myself, but I still found purpose in life there, man. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that was honestly what has like that's the fight that is the purpose that fuels me to this day. It's like fucking 15 or 16 years later since then. And it's
how
like
old are you now?
36. And I basically went to um, later that year, my friend told me, Dim, if you like this contribution stuff, you can go to like a third world country and help build like orphanages and shit. So within 2 weeks of him telling me that, I had booked a flight to Costa Rica, and I went to Costa Rica and I was building an orphanage there, which, as you can imagine, is very
That's sick.
fulfilling. Yeah, man. And so I was actually also in the army, man, after high school. So I did uni while I was in the army. I got trained as an infantry officer, but as time went on, I realized I didn't want to kill people. And so I really was in the army for more of the contribution stuff. And so when I was 22, that's when I left the army. I started corporate. I was in corporate for 8 years as a project manager. And because of the army experience, man, like like they put me up pretty quickly as a
Yeah,
PM. And basically, bro, when I was 23, I went to but I fucking hated corporate. When I was 23, I went to Ubud to build a kindergarten there. And when I was 25, I had achieved all this fucking shit, and my LinkedIn looked great, but I didn't give a fuck about any of it.
yeah,
And so I quit corporate, I thought, for good, and I went to Africa, and I was building homes there. And it was there with it, man. Like that's when I discovered personal development books, and I felt like genuinely like I finally found the answers I was looking for.
yeah,
And I just immersed myself in all these books like while I was in Africa. And when I got back, I applied what I learned in these books and went from earning 60 grand a year to 200 grand a year. And I was still 25. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking, uh, um, I'm going to just become financially free through property. And then I'm going to just build orphanages for the rest of my life. And so then ages 25 to 29, I got like six properties while I was making the 200 grand and living at home.
What
Um,
were you, how are you making 200 grand? What were you
as
doing?
project manager.
Sorry, what was that?
Project manager.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I really got that job based off the stuff that I learned in personal development books. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, man, I bought all this property, and I started to share on Instagram the things I was learning.
yeah,
And then I started to have all these young guys coming to me asking me for guidance. And that's why when I was 29, I was like, why don't I quit my job and do this shit full time?
yeah,
And that was 7 years ago now, man. In terms of Anna, my fiance, man, like we met when I was 29, basically the year where I was leaving PwC to to uh to do coaching.
yeah,
And holy shit, man, we went through so many difficult times together. Like she was the best. We were like soulmates, man. We were joined at the hip. Everyone knew us as one person pretty much for 4 years. And she was a women's coach. I was a men's coach. So I assure you, it's a very deep relationship. But I
She,
too,
is she the one that's in the in your documentary at the end?
yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
her.
right. Yeah.
So thanks for watching, man. So yeah, that's what got me into this. And yeah, there's been hundreds of guys now in the alumni community, man. And yeah, I like being on the front line with the boys. So even in all the products that we have, there's a one-on-one the
Yeah.
whole every week.
There's so much stuff that you said that relates to what I want to do as well. So like actually funnily enough, I was going to join the Army Reserves after I quit my job just to I don't know, character building, that sort of thing. But now that I have this fucking ABO against me, I can't even do that. But once I get it thrown out, I think I'm gonna go join Army Reserves
Yeah, bro.
and do that part time uh, as a what is it called, combat engineer.
Oh,
Um,
sweet, sweet.
yeah, and then you mentioned like you went traveling, you did all this stuff, where you building stuff. I've actually been thinking about going to Sri Lanka and doing like a off the grid, off the beaten path trip. But I'd love to sort of find it's not just like a holiday. I want to add value to others because in helping others, you help yourself. So um,
It's very sweet, man.
I'd love to hear know more about that later once we finish this the next two questions. But
Yeah.
how do you come across these opportunities to like go and build huts or whatever it was
Yeah,
that
yeah, of course, man, of
if you
course.
could link me those, that would be cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of them actually.
Yeah.
If you just even if you type in volunteer travel, you'll find them.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah. It's very special.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good on you, man. I appreciate you asking and also watching the documentary. Um, okay, bro. Well, where are we? So, all right. All right. I think I what I really want to finish with, man, in because I already have a program in mind.
Yeah.
Bro,
Also, I'm
yeah,
thinking of going once this whole like family law stuff is done, like the legal separation of my assets, which she's taking. Um, I want to go traveling pretty much soon after that. So I'm thinking like June, July. I'm going to go for a month and or even like 2 weeks and test it out, and then come back.
cool,
Um,
man.
but yeah, just want to let you know about that in any
Okay,
case. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, all right, bro. Well, why don't you tell me like let's say that Dim and Vidit had a magic wand,
Yeah.
and it's 3 months from now, and you can wave it. Where would you be in relation to everything that you've shared here?
I would have got out of the cycle that I'm going through right now, out of my head, and be at peace with everything that's happened, and I would be building out my business.
Oh, we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay. How much income are we talking if we start to build your business?
So I've done the numbers. Uh, so my cash flow generating business, or the main cash flow one, that would generate 39 million dollars per year, um, if you just tap into 1% of the market. So uh, divide that by, well, that's revenue, and then 80% profit margin. So
Good.
what?
That's good, man. Even if that's 30 mil, how much you reckon in the first year you would get to
Uh,
in the next
first,
12
yeah,
months?
yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to think. So maybe like 200K.
I appreciate that. That's good, man. That was a nice grounded answer. I gotta ask, man, like how close do you feel like you're how close do you feel like you are to getting that the way you're currently going about it?
Um, yeah, I think if I continue progressing the way I am. So how long has it been? It's been uh, less than 2 months since things like my life changed. I think I've progressed pretty well uh, in 6 weeks. I think 3 months from now, I think I'll be a completely different person. My plan is I'm doing this challenge, personal challenge for myself. In 60 days, I want to transform my body. So we're only 7 days into that, or 8 days into that. I've already dropped like 2 kilos. Uh, so I think 60 days from now, I'll have a brand new body. Another 30 days from then, I'll be maintaining or building on that body. And I think once I transform my body, that will unleash a whole new level of self confidence as well. Um, because when you work hard at a goal and you achieve it, I think that's there's no happier feeling, right? That's that's
Absolutely.
that's true happiness, in my opinion. No person can provide you with happiness. It's you achieving your goals. That's what provides happiness.
Absolutely, man. Bro, I gotta ask, like, if that's the case, like, you're already doing the gym stuff. It sounds like you're already on track to doing 200 grand. Like, and you already did explore a coaching program before. Like, what would be the value of doing a coaching program in all this? And you want to go traveling as well?
Uh,
Like,
I
what is
I, I don't think I don't think I have everything sorted. I think there's no limit to growth and learning, and I think the value in this is meeting like-minded individuals like yourself, um, and really seeing what is possible by connecting with those living the reality that you are, or that you want. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, man. Um, the reason I say all this is because, especially in the case where someone gets blindsided, which I would think it's fair to say that happened in your case. Often, what it means with it is where, like, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way because I understand it because I did this as well. It often means we're kind of delusional to our performance. We think that things are just going to work out great, which is lovely. But what ends up happening is we end up ignoring a bunch of red flags. And then what ends up happening is that when shit collapses or whatever, it just makes us feel worse about ourselves down the line. The fantasy becomes the nightmare. Does that make sense? At least conceptually, what I'm saying?
No, I'm not sure I fully understand.
Okay. So what I mean is like in your ex-fiance's case,
Yeah.
There was a fantasy around how everything was going to turn out, and you guys were going great, and you could be this way with her, and you can be that, whatever, whatever. And she saw this, and it's all
Yeah.
fine. And then suddenly now you're in a nightmare. Would that be
Yeah.
fair to say so
Yeah.
far?
Yeah.
So in the same way, man, like that thing of getting blindsided where you think everything is great and then it becomes a fucking nightmare, like that is an indicator that we're not being fully grounded with the present moment and how we're currently going about things.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, man, like I appreciate what you said about I don't really feel like I've got everything sorted. I think it was your words.
Yeah.
Man, like it sounds to me like in light of everything that's happened, like you still got some incredibly ambitious, I don't know, some fucking build your business, 200 grand, fucking lose weight, that's amazing. Like man, well, I guess what I'm getting at is like, do you really think the trauma is going to hold you back from doing this? Because if you don't, that's why you didn't go with men's group or men's academy or whatever it's called. Probably because you don't, and you're still finding the 2.2 grand to give to the lawyer, but you're not able to give the 2.2 grand into a program like this. My guess is because you think it's going to be fine regardless. Or am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Nah, not right. I told them that I would touch base with them at a later stage once I've sorted things out. Uh, with yeah, because I just didn't know what was coming, and in hindsight, I made the right decision by not throwing 7K at them because now I have a $22,000 legal case on me.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I made like I didn't jump the gun. I wasn't. I thought rationally in that moment, and I was like, "Yeah, I need this help. Yes, I would love to fucking drop 7K. To me, money is meaningless. Like I'm fucking dropping 22K on a legal case. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I've worked 8 years to build the savings that I have now, and in an instant, I'm losing a shit ton of it. Right? So money is meaningless. Money can be made back, but 7K was just too much to commit to at that point in time.
The time.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, my bro. Look, part of the reason I ask some of these questions is just to see how receptive you are and what our dynamic is like and whether we understand each other and whether you're open, you know? There's no wrong answer.
yeah,
Uh, look, bro, based off everything you've said, I definitely have one that I'd recommend for you. Do you want me to show you that or
yeah,
do you want
yeah.
this? Yeah? All right, hang on. So the one I'm going to show you, bro, is the one that you saw in the documentary, and
Okay,
it's the one that Joey's in at the
okay,
moment. And it's the one that if you've gone through the website or my Instagram at all, like, and you've seen testimonials, I'm showing you the flagship one, right?
okay.
So this is not going to be the most expensive one, but it's the big one.
Yeah,
Uh, and I think you'll find there's a lot of support. So if can I go relatively quick and can you interrupt me if I'm going too quick?
yeah,
Is
yeah, yeah.
cool. So this is what you saw in the documentary Fire Pit. I'd like to think that a lot of these, what's written here, you've just told me this stuff that that's what you wanted.
Yeah,
Is that fair?
yeah.
Cool. So, bro, I've got some hopefully bad news, but some good news. I'll show you this presentation, but it's genuinely like a fucking 15K program that's included in here, right?
Okay,
Now, this program doesn't cost 15K. This program is 6495, so it's 6500 plus GST. So it's more or less 7K,
okay.
right? And that's just me being very upfront with you.
Yeah,
I guess you can say that's the bad news. The good news is I'm pretty strong in terms of having some really good payment plans to offer you if it is something that you want to do.
yeah,
So that's me being like not bullshitting you. I'm being very upfront with you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to continue
Yeah.
this you? All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, man. So, man, I think this will be of value to you. This is what I have seen with it from fucking working with hundreds and hundreds of guys. It's pretty easy to see trends. Even though I try to be diligent in these assessments and ask questions, like I do see some trends, man. So initially, when we start, it's usually in our 20s. We have a lot of initial enthusiasm, is what I call it. We've got big goals, whether that's relationship goals or working goals, and we get some good initial wins. But then, one way or the other, whether it's professionally or personally, I find that we end up in this place, which is what I call the wilderness. Could you do me a favor, my bro, and just have a quick squiz through that and tell me if any of this resonates with you? A lot of this is anchored towards career, but I know in your case it'll be more about relationships.
Yeah. I think what relates to me is uh, I think so if I go from the top, yeah, I definitely think wind stopping is exciting. Uh, jobs, job no longer as in living as used to be. Yep. Uh, I'm not sure about number three. Maybe my relationship was a satisfier slash distractor. Um,
What I'd say, especially in your case, man, the prospect of a future relationship doesn't sound very exciting. If we
yeah,
don't put that lens to it. You know,
yeah,
here's our objective, and you tell me if you like it or not. But it's called personal sovereignty. My objective, man, is to move you fully on from this place, which this is the place where you keep going in a spiral where it's a similar relationship dynamic where you try another one and it's like this fucking same shit that keeps coming up. And it's like these same patterns that you notice. I would would not let that fly in these programs. We're here to break patterns that are deserving you and help you instill new patterns that will help you. That's real. So personal sovereignty, a sovereign is a king or a queen. This means that you found the king within yourself. That means you found something and you're pursuing something actively that is purposeful, that is that's fulfilling, that is self-inspiring. I think you use the word self-motivating.
yeah,
Uh, you're building strong self-confidence and self-worth, which comes from healthy emotional processing of the past stuff. I want to equip you in a way that you know when future stuff comes up, you have a way of understanding and reflecting accurately. Fuck, this is what I've done to create this situation. This is what this situation actually means. This is how I can guide myself back to equanimity. This is how I can masterfully maneuver in future. That's the kind of objective.
yeah,
You're building wealth that comes with it, as you I think you already clued into that, and then you're building really meaningful relationships. So does that sound okay as a overall, in addition to the specific goals that you've set?
yeah,
Cool, man. So we customize this to you, but there's 5 high-level phases that we take you through. This is a 3-month program, what I'm showing you. The first phase with it is helping you get to know yourself. In your aspect, what I really like is that you've got some mad business goals. I really like that about you, man. What I think you are lacking, which is fine, is a deep level of self-awareness as to like what's caused this fuck up in the first place. Because as long as you lack that self-awareness, you'll forever probably lack the confidence in trying again. Because you're like, I think in your words, you're like, well, fuck, like I don't even know what the fuck I did wrong in the first place to make this thing fuck up. So that's what that chapter will be about for you. The second thing, man, is helping you get out of your own way. Even in my first conversation with you, without attachment to you, working with me or whatever, I just tried to do that, man. At the risk of upsetting you, I just tried to say, bro, you gotta do better than this, man. It's not a good look for even you, man. That's what I tried to do. And we use a range of different tools to help you with this. Timeline therapy, Demartini method, NLP, sometimes just me helping you understand what the root causes of things and why you're doing it, understanding frameworks. Bro, after you've done this, it'll be execution time because you'll feel fucking clear and you'll feel jacked and ready to go. So
Yeah.
our boy Joey, he's in this phase of this program. So he's kind of good and they're building businesses now. That's the phase that he's in. You yourself mentioned being around the right type of people. So yeah, man, I'm surrounded by this.
Yeah.
You can ask Joey if you don't believe me.
Yeah.
Uh, and number five, man, I'm very passionate about making this a new foundation for you. Why? And I would just put my cards on the table. Ideally, man, you're the type of person that will continue the journey on with me after this program's over. We have an entrepreneurs only program. That's what it's called. And the minimum standard is this stuff. So everyone's on board with this level of understanding of like personal mastery. So we're really going like, fuck, how can like, we got a dude in the group who's doing 14 million at the moment. And the conversations are all about like, fuck, I'm about to get acquired by fucking Mervac. Like, how do I stay equanimous in this? How do I like, how do I make sure I don't get volatile? How do I not fuck up my relationships? But there's a standard that gets created. Um, so if you do want to continue with me, Vidit, this is you and me right now. We're having our initial chat. If you want to continue, man, what you get in this program is you get kind of four components. You get online modules every week. The point of the online modules is to prepare you for the live sessions. In this thing, you get two coaches. You get me and you get a specialist who's on my team. She's a she, she's blonde and blue-eyed, which I think is beautiful uh, because I think she's the perfect person. She's very different to me. She's very kind of soft and very nurturing, and she is. Joey's words are disarming. She's very disarming. So when you do the emotional resolution work with her, including all the past traumas, the childhood stuff, it's fucking amazing. It's very effective. So the first one-on-one session with it is with me, but the next five are with her, but you'll still see me every single week in the groups. And I'll make sure I'm checking in with you. It's very intimate, man. The groups are amazing. All the boys are on a similar journey to you, as you saw. Uh, and in addition to this, you can message me on WhatsApp anytime. So that I mentioned there's kind of four layers, that being the online course, the group calls, the one-on-ones, and one-on-one WhatsApp support. That's the first 6 weeks, man.
Yeah.
After that, you have the retreat, which you saw. The
Yeah.
first 6 weeks, my bro, that's about helping you heal all the past stuff and the emotional stuff.
Yeah.
By the end of that, you're going to feel like a new person already.
Yeah.
The retreat and the journey onwards from that. So there's a retreat, and then there's a 6 week follow-up program after the retreat. That is about going, okay, man, like I've kind of really done a lot of letting go of who I was. I want to define now what's my next 10 years of life look like, my new fresh chapter look like, and who is the new version of Vidit that's going to go into this next 10 years. It's so special. It's so transformational, man. Like that is the retreat. And then after that, you would probably be familiar with what like a scrum is. So it's kind of like every Monday, it's like, hey, man, my goals for last week were this. These were the issues. Okay, cool. We'll talk through the issues. Cool. You all good, man? Cool. All right. What's your goals for next week? And we have it all on a Trello board. Everyone's kind of accountable to it. And then we check in on Fridays as well. So that's all about embedding a lasting change. Then
Yeah.
we have like regular alumni meetups and shit like that. Which is what you saw at the end of the documentary. That was one of our meetups.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the program, man. What do you think of this?
No, it sounds good. So the female that you mentioned,
Yeah.
blonde hair, blue eyes, is that the same, the ex-fiance or
No,
someone else?
that's not my ex-fiance. This is
Oh,
just it just happens to be one of my team members
okay.
who I think is just a beautiful irony in all this. And
Yeah.
probably the perfect person to do some of the healing work.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it sounds good. I, I I don't have any questions at the moment, but it makes sense. So the fire pit um, weekend seminar,
Yes.
where is that held? And is there additional costs to that as well?
No,
Or?
no, no, no. What I told you was there's no hidden thing, right?
Yeah,
So uh so this is kind of the first leg, the first 6 weeks, which we just talked about. I just you do a one-on-one with me,
yeah.
you do five with Shay, you have group sessions with me every week. You message me anytime on WhatsApp. Bro, that inclusion, like for real, it's genuinely like 5K, and you've done a bit of shopping around, so I'd like to think you're aware of that. Um, the retreat, it goes from 6 p.m. Friday to 3 p.m. Sunday. It's in Mona Vale in the Northern Beaches, if you know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like we go out for lunch and for dinner, so there's the additional cost. But I pay for the accommodation. Breakfast is sorted, but lunch and dinner can vary.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the additional cost.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to ask something else, man?
How big are the groups?
There's six in the one that's coming up in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it starts in June. Okay.
No, so the pre-program's already rolling,
Oh, right.
but the retreat that's coming up, there's only two this year. The one that's coming up is in June
Oh,
for the
right. Okay.
September. Yeah.
So which retreat would I be part of?
You'd be part of the June one if you want to come, man.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd have adequate time to do your one-on-ones before then. And then yeah, it's the end of June. It's the last weekend of June.
So Joey did this retreat as well.
Joey's in Vietnam, man, so he's not going to be on that retreat.
Oh, but as in he did a retreat or he didn't do it?
Joey's done the pre-program, and because he went to Vietnam, he's doing other stuff with me now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
but he's yet to do his retreat. But I don't think he's going to be on your retreat, if that's what you're asking.
Right. 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 Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
just thought he might have already done a retreat.
No,
Um, when did you say he started with you again?
I believe it was December last year.
What was the reason he started? Was it more like business focused type thing, like quitting
You
his
can
job?
ask him, but it was relationship stuff. It was I'm careful not to, compromise his privacy, but it was
Yeah.
very similar to you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't had a chat. I had a quick chat with him yesterday. But I didn't ask about this. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll ask him about this. Yeah.
cool. So what do you think, man? Is this something that you want to do?
Uh, yes, I think it's something I want to do. Um, what sort of payment plan can you?
Sure. Look, man, okay, so just to orient you, I hope you genuinely can see it's like a fucking 15K program.
Yeah,
The regular price for this is 8,995 plus GST, which basically comes up to nine grand plus GST, which is basically a 10 grand program. What I do is, and this is across the board for everyone, is I do a discount for a decision. Doesn't have to be a full payment, just a decision on
yeah,
this phone,
yeah,
which is $2,500 off, which is the price that I said to you at the very beginning, which
yeah.
is 6,495 plus GST. Uh, Bro, I can fix you up on an extended payment plan beyond this if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be
But
good.
okay.
Yeah,
Uh, Bro, if you want to do extended beyond this, I will connect you to a broker who gives education loans, and that's where it would go. So he can get you to like fucking $48 a week. Like,
but this is interest bearing.
then it would be interest-bearing loan. I believe the interest is roughly 13% a year. That's what you would do if you wanna go down the route of a broker, man. But I hope you can understand, like, like I'm not a bank.
Yeah, there's no way you could do something like half that amount, like half the lowest amount, the 129.
Uh, okay. Let me show you, no bullshit, exactly how I calculate this. So if someone wants a payment plan with it, Like
Yeah.
number one, you're asking me to trust you for 12 months that you're going to make good on it, which
Yeah.
I think I do. I'm happy to trust you. Can
Yeah.
I trust you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's personal between you and me at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, what I do is if someone wants a payment plan, for every month that they want a payment plan, I charge $100, right? So it's 6495 plus GST. So the 6 month payment plan is plus 600. Then you divide that by six. So that's the number that you saw there, 1290. Yeah. So if you want to do a 12-month payment plan, which is I think is what you're suggesting. So it's 6495 plus 1200 divided by 12. So then you get 695. But here's what we can do, my bro. Once if you start with this and we get you on your feet and you start doing well, and your financial situation clears up, if you want to start to pay it off in advance, then we can reduce the $100 a month thing.
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
The other option, man, is if you want to start on this, I think the thing is you're trying to avoid the loan because you don't want
Yeah.
the interest. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Technically, can you do a loan or not? You don't want to go down that route.
I don't know how I'd even get a loan because I don't have income.
But do you have a tax return?
Yeah.
We might be able to get you a loan. However, man, do you think it'll actually take you 12 months to pay this off, or do you reckon once you get back on your feet, you
Yeah.
can?
Probably. Yeah. Probably be able to pay it off sooner. Yeah.
So, bro, there's a chance, right? Like I feel like you kind of know me by now. You can see I'm like I'm not trying to like hard thing you or anything like that. Like, you might find you're still able to pay it off in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. To
I
be
think.
honest,
I think so. Like, yeah, backload the payments basically. So they start off small, and then you know what I mean. Like, I could, yeah, in 6 months' time, probably be able to pay like the entire remaining amount, whatever it was. Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to be the first one to do that. That's fine if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to so are you happy with 695 as the first one?
Uh, can I confirm that with you later, or
I
I just need to look at my finances and see what upcoming payments and all that sort of stuff.
Is there any chance you can do that now? The reason being, man, is because I number one, it would really help me to have a decision on the call. Number two is because I've got a flight coming up later this evening,
Yeah.
uh, and it would just help me to just finish work stuff for today, get you onboarded.
Yeah, I just want to speak to my dad if that's okay. Yeah, with all the expenses I have coming up, I just want to make sure. Um, yeah, I speak to my dad, see if he can support me on this as well.
All right,
For the
Vidit.
being, yeah.
Do you have all the numbers written down? Do you have the information?
Could you send?
Bro, can you do me a favor? I'm
Yeah,
going to share my screen. Do you think you can take a screenshot?
yeah.
It should be a tax write-off for you, FYI.
Oh,
This,
really?
yeah.
How come?
I'm registered as a professional trading provider. So, and as long as you're comfortable saying this helps you perform better at work, and we will be talking about your work anyway. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as you're comfortable saying it helps you perform better at work, yeah, then you can write it off.
For some reason, I can't. The bottom half of the screen is covered by the Zoom.
Yeah, man, I'll do it for you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bro, this is not like a trick question. Can you tell me like when you'll be able to chat to your dad?
I tried to him today.
Cool. Did you know like timing wise so I know
I'll get back to you within before the end of this week.
you said today or end of this week?
I'll speak to him today, but I'll get back to you with the final decision before the end of this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can't preserve the discount if that's the case, man. Right? I gotta have integrity for
So
everyone.
so you can't wait till Friday?
No, man, I have integrity for the boys who've come through this journey. So man, like I've literally written on this slide, and no one gets an exemption. The reason I have it this way, this incentive-based pricing, man, is because it means that I don't have to, it reduces work on my end, and it means that the guys are really fucking keen to do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it honestly makes the whole coaching journey easier, and it's worth me giving them a discount for.
Yeah. All right, can I get back to you today?
Yes, man, you're welcome to. Um, Bro, and honestly, to get started, like, yeah, that payment six is plenty, and then you'll be good for a whole month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then if I pay 695 today, um, when do I start the program? When does the program start?
Next week, like I'm literally gonna that's why I was trying to figure it out right now, because I'll literally give you the onboarding now. I'll sign
Yeah.
you into the portal. We'll schedule your first session in, man, and then we'll get to work.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Did we answer all your questions, man?
Yeah.
All right. Bro, to your WhatsApp, I'm sending you that screenshot.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Um, Bro, would you do me a favor, and can I hear from you today one way or the other? Even if your answer's dim, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Can you just, is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
All right. All good then, man?
All right. Yeah.
All right. All right. It was nice to chat, man. Like, yeah, I wish you all the best no matter what.
Thanks, man. Thanks, team.
All right. Bye,
See ya.
bro.